Good morning. My name is Tom Pham. My candidate number is 3509. Today we will discuss this challenge about wildlife destruction in Broward County. I will cover the local challenge, national relevance, and global implication. Then I will propose my solution towards the problem. So what is wildlife destruction? Wildlife destruction is the act of destroying nature, including plants, animals, and their habitats. This is done directly or indirectly through human activities and intervention with nature. Key terms. Key terms are important for a deep understanding of the topic. Wildlife, or wild animal and plants, specifically refer to the native fauna and flora of a region. Wildlife conservation, or wildlife preservation, is the practice of protecting wild animal and plants, as well as their habitats to ensure their survival and the health of the ecosystem. Biodiversity is the variety of life in the world or in a particular habitat or ecosystem. Ecosystem service, the direct and indirect benefits the ecosystem provide for the humanity, including things like clean air, water, food, pollination, or flood control. Invasive species, a non-native organism that causes harm to the environment, economy, or human, animal, or plant health. Conservation management is the practice of using science, policy, and community engagement to protect and sustain the health of the ecosystem. The importance of wildlife preservation. Wildlife conservation brings numerous benefits to the ecosystem in Florida. For example, in Broward County, we have species unique to our region like the American alligator, the Florida panther, and native species like sea turtle and Florida manatees. These species are ketone species, meaning their well-being are closely linked with the health of the entire ecosystem. Wildlife preservation is essential for maintaining biodiversity. This diversity is crucial as it contributes to the resilience and stability of the ecosystem, allowing them to recover from various disruptions. Protecting wildlife enhances ecosystem services such as pollination and seed dispersal, which promote forest regeneration. For example, the northern mockingbird, a native bird species in Florida, which their main diet during the fall of fruit and berries, can help with reforestation and the spread of native plants. This process provides strong support for our local flora, which is a significant part of our economy and food system. Wildlife has extensive cultural and educational significance. It provides opportunities for learning in our community. Educational programs like those offered at the Fern Forest Nature Center utilize local wildlife to teach both young and old about the importance of conservation. Good wildlife conservation efforts directly correlate with political stability within the region. Protecting the wildlife habitat also preserves the environment for local population through a self-regenerative system. A healthy ecosystem improves the standard of living for the indigenous people. You may ask, what are the main causes of the problem? The first cause is habitat loss through natural or artificial processes. From 2001 to 2023, Florida lost 2.1 million hectares of tree cover, equivalent to the 28% decrease in tree cover since 2000, and 747 million tons of carbon dioxide emission. Second is deforestation and land conversion. Politically, conservation often competes with economic development interests. Land that could be used for urban development may also be crucial for conservation. Third is pollution and climate change. Land-based sources of pollution are known to affect coral growth and reproduction, have been linked with increased coral disease and bleaching, and contribute to coral reef ecosystem decline in Southeast Florida. Fourth is the introduction of invasive species that are detrimental to the ecosystem. People have released unwanted pests into the Everglades, including aquarium fishes, python, boa constrictor, parakeets, and feral hogs. which contribute to the widespread invasive species introduced into the Florida native ecosystem. Let's take a look into why is this an issue locally. In South Florida, especially the Broward County region, face many challenges in managing conservation effort. The local governing body seems to lack effort in maintaining adequate protection for the native species such as sea turtle and manatees. These animals, as well as others, are affected by light pollution, microplastic, and fossil fuel consumption within Florida. Here's the heat map of the light pollution level of Florida. And this is the Broward County area, which you can see have alarm level of light pollution. This can potentially affect the native species' natural behavior and affect their population negatively. There has been numerous reports of manatees collide with boats and ships, leading to their death. The energy consumption of the U.S. Energy Information Administration shown that most of Florida electricity is generated by fossil fuel, which are non-renewable energy and cause climate change, which is also a contributing factor to habitat loss of local species, bringing them closer to extinction. This source is reliable as it is from a government domain. And this is a table gathered through a study about microplastic level found within manatee's body. It is shown that their body contains significant amount of microplastic, which can be implied that there are even more microplastic present in the ocean. This is the bar chart about Florida natural forest loss, resulting in carbon dioxide emission ultimately contribute to the climate change of the state. This is also a huge loss of habitat for the native animal, further addressing the multifaceted impact of these much smaller issues. Such problems should require more attention from the conservation body to effectively protecting the endangered as well as threatened species. Now let's cover the national relevance. California also has similar issues about light pollution, especially in Los Angeles. This level of light pollution heavily impacts turtle hatchling along the beach coast. California also has lost 90% of its coastal and inland wetlands, which will have been replaced with housing, highway, airports, cropland, and industrial parks. This completely eradicates the home for millions of animals and plants. The environmental destruction results in poor air quality in some areas and regions of California. It also has 84% dependency on fossil fuels such as crude oil. Now let's cover why is it an issue globally. China is responsible for a total of 106 million of tons of waste from 1992 to 2017, responsible for disposing 45% of global imported waste. A large portion of this is plastic waste, which could break down to microplastic and seep into growing soil, threatening the health of the public. The turtle dove population in Belgium has declined by 93%. The European turtle dove is listed as vulnerable in Europe due to its rapid population decline. This might be caused by Belgium's intense nightlife, disrupting the turtle population within the countries. China poaching market arise from traditional Chinese medicine, which involve illegal poaching and killing of local rhinos, tigers, driving them closer to extinction. The ban in China doesn't explicitly prohibit the possession of rhino horn, and there are loopholes in the law that allow for commercial trade in protected species, part for heritage conservation. Let's mention the current effort in resolving our problem. Encouraging public awareness through school education, which is crucial for wildlife conservation. However, simply knowing about the issues does not always translate into meaningful action. Individuals may lack the motivation, resources, or opportunities to change their behavior, and most of the education on this topic does not reach the target audience, such as decision makers and company CEOs. The National Forest Management Act established standards and limitations to ensure the sustainable management of national forests. However, this act lacks enforcement, which can lead to non-compliance and undermine the effectiveness of sustainable practices. Some companies may falsely claim to be sustainable to enhance their public image. Despite these efforts, many wildlife destruction initiatives are unsuccessful in effectively eliminating the threat to our wildlife. Let's cover my solution towards the problem. My solution proposes implementing Extended Terrestrial Protected Areas, or TPA. It is a clearly defined geographical space on land that is legally designated and managed to conserve nature and restrict human intervention. This solution aims to protect a wider range of habitat within a region. This approach benefits wildlife because it's preserving biodiversity, as well as the fight against climate change by allowing the species within the region to save their range. Additionally, compared to other solutions, this solution is more effective because it actively protects wildlife from threat without incurring prohibitive costs. A study published in Nature Communication showed that globally species richness is 10.6% higher and abundance is 14.5% higher in samples taken inside of protected areas compared to the outside. The research is conducted by multiple researchers across universities like the University College of London and Imperial College, thus make this work incredibly credible. Another study proposed implementing TPAs in cost-effective zone, or CEZ. This suggests that this solution could also be cost-effective if managed correctly. This solution could be implemented in both regionally, nationally, and globally. Light pollution and plastic pollution can be managed through strict policies in protected areas. More protected areas will also mean there will be less land being converted into harmful industrial factories or used for mining non-renewable resources, further limiting the consumption for fuel that would cause climate change. In order to prevent wildlife destruction from getting worse, we must create more protected areas and stop the destruction of our ecosystem. Thank you. This is my citation page for my work.